What's up, Potato? How the hell are you, buddy? Smilegate did a thing, huh? Yo, Blaze. What's up, man? What's up? Good morning, Dark Lord Odin. Yusuf. How you guys doing? FCC, what about her? Yikes. All I've been hearing is everyone is pissed. Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? Why are they pissed? Why are they pissed, Anyo? Why do you think they're pissed? Tell me why they're pissed. This is a rabbit hole I want to jump down with you on here.
How's it going?
It's going good, Kefnet. It's going good. You guys, if you guys are curious, I literally just put up a video. So you can check that out. So Anyo, you still didn't answer me. Why is everyone pissed? Okay, so here's the thing. Why would they cancel her buffs? You know what? Let's just jump right in. You know, I said all this in the video. If you want to watch that, I'd appreciate the clicks in the comments and everything. But let's just dive right into this while we're here, right? Just today, from Dominial, we hear all about the balance preview, and a lot of people got this far and they watched this balance preview, and it's kind of a rehashing. You know, Tori, everything we have, and the sweet chocolate scandal, talking about her story, talking about the 77 free covenant summons we're getting, and then they get to this point right here where they're talking about the balance here adjustment, and people are like, yeah, Violet, Ludwig, right, they're doing Ras, they did Ras twice, okay, yeah, wait, where's FCC? Like, why isn't FCC mentioned here? And then they scroll down a little bit further, and we get into this balance hero adjustment section, and they, in kind of semi-pink color, say, we would like to inform you of a change regarding Fallen Cecilia. And the change is, she's not getting changed. They said after they talked about her preview, they received a number of comments and feedbacks from our heir regarding balance adjustments, including Fallen Cecilia. After reviewing each and every one of them, we've decided to exclude Fallen Cecilia from the 213 balance adjustments. So this sentence right here says it all. People jumped on to Stove, because that's the only thing they listened to. People jumped on to Stove it and said, we don't like these buffs, a la Pirate Captain Flan. And they listened to the community. The thing that we all asked for. We all asked for them to listen to the community, and they've listened to the community, and now people are big mad that they listened to the community, because they felt the buffs were great. They were excited about it. I was one of them. You watched me pick up a second Fallen Cecilia. You watched me build 2 of these units and talk about all the different ways we're going to build her, all the cool techs and synergies we were going to work her in, how we're going to abuse and use her speed imprint.
I'm tired of these smooth-brained F2P players even having a voice at this point.
Did you comment on the post, Slash? Hang on, let's look here. Balance adjustment preview. Here's the original post. Is there a single comment from here from Slash is the truth? Don't mean to call you out here, but you're giving me a good soapbox to stand on. Is there a single comment by Slash in this section? Well, is there, whatever your name is on Stove, is there a single comment for you on here saying These buffs are amazing. I'm happy for FCC. I'm finally glad you made her good. I'm hyped about playing her. Be nice if you went a little bit further maybe, but this is pretty good.
All the resources wasted in to get her prepared in anticipation of this buff. Feels bad. Should have known better.
We'll cover that in just a minute, though, before we get into that. But that's my thing, right? Yeah, all I did was heart comments. So Smogate jumps on here and starts looking at the comments, which now, of course, are all recent ones about the refund. But, you know, a lot of the comments on here are not good. In fact, here, let's just check out this, right? If I go over here and I search for the word balance, right? And what do you guys think about the FCC buffs? There's a whole thread about what do you guys think about the FCC buffs. And they are all, buff is okay. It's not making the hero do more better. You know, there's still useless. Only thing that makes her cool is 12 speed. Definitely agree. I get why people are being upset because FC so love and buffing her from useless to niche isn't what they wanted. I mean, it's this, and the comments on the other posts are mostly people saying we don't really think this is that good. We don't think it's going to make her that great. She's supposed to be the rival of New Moon Luna, and here she is, just kind of being niche speed imprint to help cleavers along, and not really doing anything that's fun, engaging, or exciting. And all the people that were like me excited about these changes didn't say a goddamn thing on the stove post. And now we're sitting here bitching that Smogate listened to a bunch of silver players. Well, did any of the Legend and Emperor players say anything? Did anybody speak up and say these buffs are great, I can't wait to cook? Because I didn't see it. I saw some people saying that the buffs will be nice, that they're decent, they make her better, but nobody was like, this unit's going to break the game. This unit's going to be insane. I'm so hyped and excited. So, yeah. One of my favorite sayings in life is that if you're complaining about a problem without offering a solution, you're whining. Well, here's the solution, and it's an easy one. Comment on stove. Because that's what they're going to listen to. If you don't vote, you can't bitch about the outcome of the election. Am I right? This is the place where they're finding out if we like things. And we got the lesson shown to us with Pirate Flan, where they listened to the people on stove. And hopefully, I thought we had learned the lesson that if we want to see the game evolve in the way that we want it to evolve, that we will comment on stove. And we're not commenting on stove, and poof, it happened again. A bunch of silver players who don't really understand how the game works said, this is terrible, it makes her niche and she's not going to be used. The rest of us were like so busy coming up with texts and things that we never talked about it. We never said, I'm so excited to see her interaction with Tori. I'm so stoked to see how this unit's going to work with Peyra. This finally they do something for aggro. Aggro's in the shitter. It's so nice that we see 12 speed on a unit that doesn't just, explode in a puff of smoke every time it's hit. I mean, she was legitimately our first speed imprint that had any kind of bulk to her. Nope, nobody talked about that. So they carefully reviewed all of the feedback and they shit-canned the balance patch. Now, hang in there a minute, right? Because they didn't just say, oh, you didn't like it, we'll get rid of it. They said, we are currently working on a new adjustment plan for Fallen Cecilia, which we'll introduce at a later date. Later date's pretty cryptic, right? It means it's coming later, but it's not like they just said, oh, you don't like it? Fine. We won't do it. It's out, and we'll never see it again. They're going to work on a new one, like they did with Pirate Flan. Hopefully this time, unlike Pirate Flan, it's actually a good buff. Moving forward, we will carefully monitor all heroes and ensure that adjustments are more tailored to each hero's unique strengths and needs, right? I mean, this reads into what we just read, right? That they just made her kind of niche. They didn't really change her. All they did was make her a speed imprint. That's pretty clearly straightforward here, that they're acknowledging that the chief complaints were that the changes weren't tailored to the hero's unique strengths and needs, that they just made her a speed imprint and kind of a niche use unit.
We have let those who weren't thinking do the talking. Reb.
Yes, Potato. if you disagree. If you disagree. Now, if you agree that these buffs were kind of lazy and brain dead and not really engaging or good, you should be celebrating this. You should be happy. It sucks waiting. We have to wait minimum 6 weeks if she's in the next balance packs. Minimum 6 weeks to find out what the new changes are going to be. But maybe they'll be better. Maybe they will be hype and exciting. Maybe they will be the balance patch that we always wanted for FCC. Maybe they'll break her and make her like a stupid great disaster for the game, or maybe they'll be Pirate Flan and they'll be worse than before. But the bottom line is
Tristen for Dog Jam.
What? But maybe they will be the buffs we need. I like that they're listening to the community. I don't like that they're making changes last minute. And I said so below, right? You get down to the comments section and yeah, I said this is why we need 4 week prior to announcement instead of 3 week, like they do with Pirate Flan. They need 4 weeks. If they want to gather our feedback, they need to give us time to give feedback for them to process the feedback and then to make the changes. 2 weeks isn't enough. This shit's going to happen if they give us 2 week windows where people are going to make plans and spend resources and now they're kind of screwed. So, I mean, they either need to stop listening to the community and just do their own damn thing, or if they're going to listen to the community, they need to give time for us to respond, be heard, and them to affect changes. So, what about those of you who spent resources? Well, they addressed this, right? So the Fire Cecilia banner that was up, if you participated in that banner to pull imprints for FCC, you made out like a bandit, right? I watched Prof Boy summon on this banner to get imprints for his Fallen Cecilia. They are completely refunding that banner. Every single pull you did on the Fire CC banner, you will get those bookmarks back. You keep the Fire Cecilias you got, you keep the artifacts you got, you keep all of the spare scrap 3 and 4 star units you got. You just got a shit ton of free summons. It's very reminiscent of the Alencia banner. Any old timers in here remember when they changed Alencia last minute and people pulled and screamed bait and switch? They just basically gave everybody their bookmarks back. I missed that window by 30 minutes, by the way. So I did not get free Alencias. So this is going to make some people butthurt, right? That didn't get a chance to do this. Oh, and no jumping into the game right now and trying to do your Cecilia summons because they ended the Cecilia banner, right? It's not in the game anymore. You know, she's not here anymore. So you can't go in and cheat the system and do a bunch of Fire Cecilia summons. But, yeah. But what about those of you who purchased her from the Moonlight Galaxy shop like I did? Remember when I bought her from the Galaxy shop and then found the imprints later? That was fun. They're covering that too. They're saying that if you would like a refund on Galaxy coins that you used to buy FCC, they're going to set up a 1-to-1 ticket system. You can do the inquiry by clicking on this link, or you can do this inquiry in-game through the customer support button down here. Customer support, enter a ticket there, right? And what a 1-to-1 inquiry means is you're going to say, hey, I bought FCC, you decided not to buffer, I want my coins back. They'll say, we got you, fam. And within 24 to 48 hours, they will lock your account. They'll kick you out of the game, and when you try to log back in, you'll get a you've been banned screen. It'll basically say this account has been locked, contact customer service, which will freak you out if you forgot you put in this ticket, because you'll think, what did I do to get banned? But it's just for a couple of minutes, right? They can't log on to your account and make changes while you're on the account, so they got to kick you out and lock your account down. Then they'll go in, they'll remove Fallen Cecilia, they will add the 40 coins back in, then they'll restore access to your account, they'll send you an email, and they'll say, hey, check your account, we made the changes, make sure everything is copacetic, and you'll be good to go, and you'll have your 40 coins back, and your Fallen Cecilia will be gone. You will not be able to use this to get 40 coins out of a legacy Fallen Cecilia. They will check the logs and make sure that you bought her from the coin shop before they reimburse her. So be aware of that. Also, if you bought Fallen Cecilia and it imprinted your Fallen Cecilia with that Fallen Cecilia, that they won't fix, right? that the Fallen Cecilia you bought has to actually be on your account as a unit for them to remove. They can't remove an imprint, or they're at least not willing
Cause
to.
only one instance of the account can be active at a time.
Exactly, Potato, exactly. You'll kick them out just like they kicked you out, so they gotta lock the account. So that is something to be aware of. You will not be able to do this to suck the imprint out of a Fallen Cecilia and get your 40 coins back. So if you imprinted with that Fallen Cecilia, tough. Am I still going to make 2 FCCs? We've got until the 21st to do the recall. And I'm going to do some soul searching over that time and decide, right? Because what we're banking on is that the new adjustment plan for her is going to make me want to have 2 FCCs, right? That the change to her, since they say that the changes, they're going to ensure the changes are more tailored to the hero's unique strengths and needs, that makes me think they're going to make FCC just a better FCC and not something where we'd need multiple builds on. So I'm angling towards recalling it for the 40 coins, but I don't really need the 40 coins. So I'll probably just sit on the FCC and see. I'm not really sure. I got like another week or 2 to figure it out, right? Now, one thing I did notice here is it says that if you purchased FCC from the Galaxy shop using coins between January 31st and February 1st, it's 12 hours, guys. It's a 12-hour window. This is a typo, right? There's no way this is not a typo. They're refunding the entire Fire CC banner from like yesterday all the way back to its beginning, but they're only giving you a 12-hour window for people who are psychic and knew this buff was going to get canceled. Nah, fam. What they did here is they said from when the balance patch was announced to, and then they accidentally grabbed this date based on their preview. What they meant, I'm sure, was from when this announcement went live. So I'm sure this is going to get changed. You're going to be able to get your coins back outside of this 12-hour window for sure. Just not after today. If you buy her right now, you're not going to get your coins back. Now, for those of you who put Molagora and catalysts and spent gold moving gear around to build your new Fallen Cecilia, you will be glad to know that Smilegate sincerely apologizes for any inconvenience caused by this last-minute change. So I hope that makes you feel better. Moving forward, they'll do their best to announce balance adjustments that highlight unique strengths and charms. So yeah, I'm trying to be a silver lining guy on this, right? I hate waiting. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
How can anyone really know how good or bad changes will be if they are never publicly tested? It is all guesswork until the chef's cook.
You are not wrong, Dark Lord Odin. You're not wrong. But Smilegate works really hard, especially in recent months when we have said you never freaking listen. These changes are tone deaf. You're not listening to the community. Why are you doing these UI changes that nobody asked for? Why aren't you doing these other things? Why are you doing RTA this way? You're not listening to the community. It's been our number one bitch is that they're tone deaf to the needs of the community. Do you even play your own game? You never listen to feedback, right? They're listening to feedback. Just not the feedback you wanted them to listen to? Well, if you didn't give them feedback to listen to, what's your complaint, right? They're listening to the people who are saying things, and if you want your opinion listened to, you need to post on Stove. Because I would say 90+% of the comments that I've looked at on Stove, on the old balance patch and on the what do you think of the FCC buffs thread that got put on here, 90% of them were negative, where this is boring, this is lazy, this does nothing but turn her into a niche speed imprint. She's not usable in the way that everybody that left the FCC wants to use her. Now she's just an aggro unit. They were profoundly negative, and all the people that were like excited and hyped like me who wanted to use this unit for all kinds of crazy shit, we kept our damn mouths shut, except like in Discord, talking to each other on Twitch, theory crafting and stuff. Smilegate doesn't look at that. They look at Stove. They look at Stove and they look a little bit at Discord from what the CMs on Discord send them from the general consensus there. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry it got canceled, but they listened to the community, and they gave the community what the community said it wanted. And what the community said it wanted was not this FCC. We want an FCC that is tailored to the hero's strengths and needs. So that's what we're getting. And it sucks that it's at a later date, that we don't know how far away it is. I would have preferred to them just let this go through, and then this post says, we hear you, we know you don't like the FCC buffs, we're making new FCC buffs that'll be out. We'll see how you like these, and we'll see if we're going to add these FCC buffs to them or change her entirely, whatever. But, you know, this makes me think it's going to be a radical change. This makes me think she's not going to get a speed imprint. This makes me think her kit's going to be completely 180 different. Right? Because they decided that the changes the community were asking for are so different than what they did that they need to start from scratch. So that's probably what we're getting. Now, it does mean the balance patch is going to be pretty boring, right? Ludwig's going to be nice for Arena. Rast will be nice for PvP or PvE. Krau has the potential to be a replacement for Albedo. DN clearly is being reworked to work with Fene. Lilius is a buff or a nerf depending on how you play her. And Rylet will still get one shot because that's what Rylet does. Yeah, and Uber's Tooth, the most overhyped thing on this patch, does nothing. And Wings, you know what? I was excited to use Wings on my fallen Cecilia, but here we are. So yeah, there's not a lot of meat left on the bone now that FCC's gone, and that's kind of making people a little bit sad. But hey, we got Tori coming up. That's going to be great. We got Deanna's going to be sick. I think Deanna's going to be really good. Yeah, Rylet doing Rylet things, you know, it's... Mort always counters when you touch things. Rylet always gets hit when he's on the left side of the screen. Rylet always solos when he's on the right side of the screen. It's you know, it's the way the game's coded. But yeah, before you pop off with all the anger, and I bet there's some anger down here. Let's see, what do we got? I'm skipping through all this because you've seen it all before. The only thing new is the, hey, surprise, Shu's getting an insane speedy. Holy crap, guys. You know what's sad? You know what's sad about this? This is what Operator Sigrid needed. Literally this exact EE. A speedy E that gives her the survivability to stealth at the end of each turn. Can you imagine? Doesn't this EE fix Operator Sigrid? But then a rat came in and stole it from her. It's just kind of sad. It's like, this is exactly what OpSig needed. Anyway, this is gonna make Shu crazy. Like, crazy. Shu is in the Galaxy shop right now, guys. If you get your Galaxy coins refunded from FCC, you may want to see how Shu reacts to this EE. Now, maybe don't jump right into it, right? Give it a couple of days to test her out first and then make a decision, because, you know... We all thought the EE was going to make Spectre Tenebria great, and look what that did.
And
but
they
yeah,
said the Operator Sigrid focus is a mistake.
Yeah, I don't know what they did with Operator Sigrid in that focus bar. It's kind of weird that it's there, and then they just didn't push it through. Where's the ML selector, you cowards? Jeez, last thing we need is an ML selector. So what do we got here? We will never forgive you for the cancellation of the FCC buffs. There's literally no content in the game, and you cancel the only thing people are looking forward to. Did Anastella say she was looking forward to the FCC buffs, that they were good buffs, that she was excited for them, that they were hyped, that they were good for the game? Did Anastella in any way say, hey, this is good for the game anywhere else on Stove? Now, Coven probably did. Coven usually spouts off when he thinks things are good and bad, but this is the second time you canceled perfectly fine buffs because some Silver Stove users complaining. Get used to it. If only the Silver Stove posters are posting, then that's the community. This is the pool. This is the sample pool that Smilegate listens to. And you can be part of that pool and say things. or you can not be part of that pool and let that pool decide the direction of the game, because this is what Smoggy's decided it's going to listen to. They might look at some Reddit when the community managers send them things from Reddit. They might look at Twitch when they get flagged a video to go check out. They might look at Discord when somebody copy and pastes it and sends it to them. But they always look at Stove. They're comfortable with Stove. They want to promote Stove. I think they're passive-aggressively trying to get us to use Stove more often by basically listening to Stove and nothing else. So yeah, make an account and start making posts. Otherwise, you're complaining that the election didn't go the way you wanted it to go when you didn't vote. I'm not saying that if you say things on Stove, it's going to happen. I'm not saying that if you vote for somebody, they're going to win the election. But if you don't vote, how can you bitch that the people who did vote chose the direction of the country? How can you complain that the people that post on Stove are the ones that Smoggate's listening to when they have basically come out and said, we listen to Stove, and you're not out there being the voice of reason? Fuck it. Let's add that to it. And community. SG has all but said we listen to Stove. Did any of the negative about this? I'm out of space, aren't I? God damn it. Comment on Stove. Let them know. There we go. What people said it was bad about her buff? Did they say they were nerfing her with speed imprint? They said that the buff was lazy, that it took her from a well-loved and usable unit and made her into just a niche speed imprint unit, that it didn't give her any really playability in the game outside of just being a long-lived speed imprint. They felt that the changes were boring and not compelling. You can literally just go in here and search for the word balance, and there's an entire thread called "What do you guys think about the FCC buff?" And there's a handful of posts that say, you know,
Won't vote if I didn't know there was election.
There's a handful that say, yeah, it's okay. I mean, you know, it's not making her do more. It's making her okay. But most of the posts are like, it's still useless. The only thing that makes her cool is a speed imprint. I get why people are upset because FCC is so loved, and buffing her from useless to niche isn't what they wanted. I'm glad they didn't just take the Mort route and turn her into another absolute monster to fight, but they 100% need to start buffing more units. I mean, the general rule of... I completely agree with you, Zeus. And I didn't say anything on the balance patch about it. I just went to work. I just went to work building my FCC, in theory crafting my FCC, and talking with you guys on Twitch about it, and I didn't say a goddamn thing on Stove. None of us did. A lot of people thought they were really good, myself included. Hell, I thought they were so good, I built 2 damn FCCs. How many of you thought you were so damn good you built 2 of these units? So you could run her 2 different ways because you were so excited about the synergies and stuff. How many of you did that and then actually talked about doing that on Stove? Posted pictures of your FCC, said, I can't wait to use this unit with Tori. I can't wait to see her interactions with an evasion FCC throwing barriers up because I'm running her with Para. Now, some of you might have, but when I looked through Stove, almost all the comments were either, or, speed imprint's good for cleavers, or, this really does nothing. I really wanted her to be a good usable unit. The vocal majority on Stove wasn't too keen on this. Felt it was kind of boring for a letterhead unit, right? For a unit that like was front and center during the World Cup, for the rival of one of the strongest units in the game. Now, I'm not saying you need to post on every single thing, but if people, you should look at the comments in Stove, and if they're all being particularly negative and you disagree, you should maybe step up and do it. Because if you think it's too strong, if you think it's insane, if you think it's super stupid powerful, you can still say that, but, Valky tried that, right? He tried to say, hey, this Para unit is too good. This Para unit is going to be a great disaster for the game, and you really need to nerf it before it's out of the box. And Stove ate him alive, saying he's wanting to cancel good things. Yeah, so Smilegate saw no reason to make the changes. And now we've got a 70% win rate Para unit, right? But Pirate Captain Flan, all right? Stove came out in droves with some of the most brain-dead takes I've ever seen. And it wasn't until after they made the changes that people started saying, why are you doing this? Why are you canceling these buffs? They were great buffs. Well, they listened to the community. And we didn't learn the lesson. We didn't learn the lesson of, if we see a lot of people dogging on a good unit, maybe we should jump in there and say, nah, these guys are kind of brain dead. These changes are actually good. All this different synergy, etc., etc. But they didn't. So Smilegate listened to the majority. And now your buffs are reverted. Not just reverted, mind you. They are very specific that they're going to later introduce more tailored to the hero's unique strength and needs buffs, right? They're going to look at the way people want to play FCC, and they're going to find a way to make her more playable as a unit and not just a speed imprint that can anchor and do some damage. And that basically relies on 3F. I'm not happy about it, right? I'm not happy that these changes have happened, but this is what I feel like after years of players putting out input and being ignored, eventually they'll stop giving feedback. Right, Deity, but it's been our chief complaint that Smilegate's not listening to us. Stove is like 10% of the community, though. It's bad. Yes, Star, it's totally bad. But that's what they have decided. They've decided that's going to be their ear to the track as to what the community wants. And we can either start using it and guide the game via using Stove, or we can just say, hey, you know what? The silver players are going to decide the direction of the game, and we need to just accept that that's the way it's going to be. Unless you want to like drive over to Korea, knock on their door and say, hey, you guys know there's other social media outlets than Stove. But remember, they're trying to market their Stove site heavily, right? It's tied into their launcher. They want everything to be funneled through Stove. They want to make this entire community around Stove. And this is a passive aggressive way to get us to engage with it. Right. Exactly, Didi. The majority of the Stove comments said ML Para was okay. Valky said, no, I don't think they were. Well, also remember too, Deity, that they are very aware of things being underpowered, and they want to address that. They don't care if things are overpowered. They like throwing overpowered into the game, so that's kind of an uphill battle. But when Valky jumped up there and said ML Para was not okay, she was too strong, Stove ate him alive. It was nonstop comments about streamer privilege, about not understanding the game, about being a bad RTA player, about just not wanting us to have good fun things, about wanting everything to be boring. He got torn apart. So maybe he was a little heavy-handed in the way he said she needed to be adjusted down, but no, the majority of the comments were not that Para wasn't okay. It was a pretty healthy mix of people saying she's insane and other people saying she's actually not that good. You had Light in his community saying the unit's garbage and unplayable. You had Valky in his community saying the unit's broken and is going to great disaster the game. It was enough of a mix that, but this was a damn near consensus. Everybody that posted said this unit is, these buffs are lazy. It's just a speed imprint. You could have given this to anybody. It doesn't make her more compelling as a unit. It's not what the FCC enjoyers wanted. And there was precious few people saying, let's go, this is amazing. I mean, I've only spent about an hour going through the comments on the dedicated what do you think of the FCC buff threads and on the balance patch threads, but at best the good comments are like, it's a speed imprint, that's nice. That's about it. Hasn't her win rate dropped? She's still near the top, but I could be wrong. I don't know, I haven't looked at her lately. Let's see. Epic 7 GG. Hero analysis. Para. Lone Wolf. Or Legend. Yeah, it dropped from 69% win rate to just a 60% win rate. Holy freaking shit. How's she doing in Emperor? Emperor went up. Emperor went from 50 to 51. And Champs went from 49 to 53. It went up. So it seems like Legend is starting to adapt to it a little bit, but still, anything over a 52% win rate in any competitive esports game is usually emergency patched and nerfed. The fact that she's 60... 60 is mid in Legend for a win rate? Is it really? Are you sure? Flan. 61 win rate for Flan. C Poly. 56 win rate, so substantially higher than Poly, about the same as Flan. Hua Young. Substantially higher than Hua Young. Who's another meta hero right now? Higher than DDR. What about Ilanov? It's about the same as Ilanov, a little bit less than Ilanov. Luna, sure. New Moon Luna in Legend. Para's better than Luna in Legend. But yeah, I guess in the 60s is not unusual for Legend. How bizarre. But yeah, I mean, who's saying ML Para is weak? A lot of people. Like a couple of people who know a lot about the game said that she's literally unplayable. She's too easy to counter. I mean, these are people who've forgotten more about RTA than I'll ever know. You know, people whose opinions on RTA I typically respect. But regardless, this is disappointing, right? It's what happened? Watch my latest video, Axton. I put a video up covering it all, but long story short, Stove said the FCC buffs were not compelling. Were not what the community was looking for, and they weren't happy about it, and they wanted different buffs, and Smilegate said, we got you, fam, and they have removed her from the balance patch, so she will not be getting buffs in the future. They are currently working on new buffs for Cecilia, and they will be different, right? They will be very different buffs. Yeah, it's very similar to Pirate Flan. It's less aggressive, right? The Pirate Flan one, they said these buffs are terrible. These are garbage buffs. They make her objectively worse. They ruin the way I want to play her. This time they just said these buffs are boring. These buffs don't really make FCC an engaging unit. These buffs don't make FCC fun. These aren't the buffs that FCC enjoyers were wanting. This just makes her a speed imprint, a niche unit for very specific situations, and not a fun playable unit. And they said, okay, fine, we will work on a new adjustment plan and ensure that the adjustments are tailored to the unique strengths and needs of the unit. And a lot of people are big mad about it because they're very excited about FCC, myself included. But I also understand that we either want Smilegate to listen to us or we don't. And this situation, Smilegate listened. They listened to the community. Just, they didn't read our minds. They just listened to the community. They listened to the noisy minority of silver players who bitched. And if you don't like that, you need to vote with your feet. You need to comment on Stove. You need to let them know when the bounce patch comes out, not after they change it, not after the... Nobody said the Pirate Flam buffs were amazing. A handful of people argued with the Smooth Brain guy, but that was after they canceled the buffs. The majority of the people just said the Pirate Flam buffs sucked, and we laughed about it in Discord. We made fun of the guy on Twitch, but nobody said a goddamn thing. And then Smilegate listened to him, listened to the community. They saw all of the feedback, and it was all negative, and then they changed things. Light was unimpressed with Payra. He felt she was unplayable, yes. There was a couple others, too. I said Hua Young was going to be amazing, and if you didn't get Hua Young, you were going to have trouble playing this game. So, you know, people are wrong all the time. It doesn't make him stupid or anything. It just makes him wrong in that situation. We all make bad calls. Pound for pound, Light knows a lot about RTA, and I'm not going to dog on him over that. So anyway, the long story short is that FCC buffs are canceled. If you pulled on the Fire Cecilia banner, you'll get all your bookmarks back. If you bought her from the Galaxy shop, you'll be able to do a 1-to-1 ticket to get that restored. And if you spent Molagora or gold or resources building your Fallen Cecilia, then you'll be glad to know that Smilegate sincerely apologizes for any inconvenience caused by this change. Hi Tristen, I think the FCC buff was lazy, but I do not agree on removing the buff. It's better to see if a buff unit would be used or not. Right. I think the issue is, what if it wasn't, right? You got all these people saying the buff's lazy, that the buff's not good, and you wish you'd done something better. You can't exactly say, we'll let this go through and then we'll buff it later, because how can you buff it later but leave the speed imprint and the damage in there, right? I mean, it doesn't give you a lot of room to turn her into a compelling unit that's tailored to her strengths and needs. Unless they nerfed by removing some of that stuff, and that's going to piss some people off who are building around a certain metric. So it kind of boxed them into a corner of, we either need to ignore the community or we need to listen to the community. And the more I read into it, the more I kind of feel for Smilegate's position on this. They got a ton of feedback. The bulk of it was negative on one of the most important heroes in the game, right? Like, I think if you said, list the top 10 most known Epic 7 heroes, FCC is in that list, right? She's a headliner hero. Was a headliner hero for the World Cup. They want her to be valued and enjoyed, and not just it is what it is. It's niche. I guess she's a speed imprint, you know. It's good if you don't have a Vildred Molad, sure. I don't know. I don't think people should be required to provide positive feedback, though, just to make sure things don't get reverted. How do you, So what you're saying then is that you feel like Smilegate shouldn't listen to the community. They should just do what they're going to do, and all of our comments be damned, because I don't see any middle ground there, right? We either let Smilegate know the direction of the game we want, or we just accept what they send to us, and it is what it is. Do you think they're listening to EN Stove or KR Stove? That is a really good point. When they had a North America community office, I think they listened to NA Stove a lot. But I honestly didn't go look at KR Stove. I'll ask that question.
Think they're listening to N Stove or only KR Stove?
Yeah, I'll ask that question, Arliss.
KR only.
Because the new CM team is all Korean. I really don't know. I really don't have an answer for that one, but I'll look into it. I'll definitely broach that question, because it's useless to us to post on. You know what? I'm gonna walk back on that. The guy that got the pirate flam buffs reverted, that was all the EN stove. That shit was nowhere on the KR stove. That was all on the EN stove. So yeah, I would say they look at all the stove comments. They said, after reviewing each and every one of them. That was when we had a CM team. Fair. But they said they look at each and every one of the feedbacks. This is BS. They do not listen to anyone. When everyone warned about Para, they did nothing. Only about 50% of the people warned about Para, and the rest of the people said Para was fine. You want me to pull up the Para post? We can go through it. But yeah, Valky and a few others warned them about Para, and those guys got eaten alive. They got told that they were trying to keep us from having good things, that they're overreacting, that Para was fine, just let it try it, the Para is actually really good but not broken. And then there's a lot of people saying Para is unusable, that she's not good at all, that she actually is going to wind up needing an EE or a buff to be functional. Plenty of people were on, there was plenty of people in both camps on Para. There weren't plenty of people in both camps on Flan. There weren't plenty of people in both camps on FCC. Yeah, it turns out it was right down the middle, didn't it, Sakai? I think she's actually broken, though. I think the more and more we play, the more and more of a problem she's going to be. She's definitely in the top 10 units in the game right now, I think, and it's only going to get stronger because she's future-proof since she synergizes with Dark Heroes. But yeah. Now, if KJ does not have a 70% plus, she's not broken. I don't know, man. She has same kind of win rates as Luna and Para and Ilanov. I mean, she's procking similar win rates to the best units in the game at all levels of play. Feels pretty broken to me. Who said Para was shit? I'll tell you in DMs, Redos, but several people with large communities. but you know, most importantly, I hate using freaking Stove's search feature. If this doesn't jump right up, one of you guys can find it. I evidently cannot spell for shit right now. Move wallpaper. Nuts and bolts event. Limited pack. Is this the one? This is the one thing that will take this character from super good to beyond broken. Where's Valky's comment section? Really? Something like that. When did he post it? Hang on, let me find it this way. God, I hate Stove. 115, 116, 115. Where's my favorite one? Flitica food. Flitica food. Valky or Delulu. ML versions don't have the same stat as RGB versions. Here's a guy who doesn't even understand how the game works. I just read a total of 20 YouTube comments, and you didn't even have that many when you did your edits. Not 90% wanting nerfs. They're upvoting individual complaints. You're just self-glazing as a YouTuber. Looks like the vocal minority has the most upvoted posts. So the vocal minority is the people saying that she needs nerfed is the vocal minority.
If they are leaning toward a reversion,
you're ignorant as hell, bro. The failure to nerf is exactly what makes Episode 7 the worst game.
Communication. It can rate, comment web events. This shouldn't be a stretch.
It wasn't exactly a mandate saying Payro was too good and needed nerfed. Half of the comments were calling Valky an idiot or a YouTube self-glazer or Delulu. And if we look at the rest of the comments, beautiful unit with a super loaded kit. I think she's going to be an opener with the same speed as C. Lilius. I don't know, though. It's not exactly like people were going, oh my god, this unit's terrible. She's going to break the game. She's going to ruin everything. So, surprise, surprise, Smogate didn't see any reason to take any action against this unit. Pirate Flan, though, you look up her thread, and it was just an ocean of this buff is garbage, and people upvoting and liking that smooth brain take. It wasn't until after they said, okay, we're gonna stop the Pirate Flan buffs and go a different direction, that people suddenly started coming out of the woodwork saying shit's bad. And it's the same with FCC. It wasn't until after they reversed her buffs that people are coming out of the woodwork saying, why would you do this? Her buffs were great. We were looking forward to it. Really? Because all of Stove, not all of, but the majority of Stove seemed pretty unimpressed by the buffs. They sent a pretty freaking clear message through the feedback that this wasn't it for FCC. And I'm disappointed. But I'm also part of the problem. I didn't comment on Stove. I didn't let them know how I felt about it when people were shitting on the FCC buffs. I just sat there and going, wow, I can't believe these guys are shitting on these FCC buffs. This is going to be wild. Which is the same thing I did with Pirate Flan. Me and Redo sat in a chat making fun of the guy who was saying the Pirate Flan buffs were terrible. Especially the part where he said a defense break on the S1 was useless. We were laughing our ass off at that. But you know what? We didn't say a damn thing about it to Smilegate. We just made fun of the guy for a dumb take. We just figured it was such a stupid take that Smilegate would obviously recognize it as a stupid take. But you know what? Then everybody upvoted it. Then everybody piled on. Then everybody said, you're right, man. High five. These buffs are terrible. They shouldn't do this to our poor Flan. That's kind of what happened here. Wasn't that the buffs were bad? It's that the buffs were boring. The defense break on S1 was totally a nerf, 200%. Yeah, okay. Tell that to Afternoon Soak Flan. Yeah, that's totally my fault, Red. You're right. So anyway, for those of you coming in late, FCC buffs are canned. New buffs will be coming probably with the next balance patch. They're going to try to focus on the unit's strengths and weaknesses. If you're not happy about it, make a Stove account and start making comments when they say they're going to make changes. You want to see positive change, make positive change. If you pulled on the Cecilia banner, that'll all be refunded. If you bought her from the Galaxy shop, that'll be refunded. Don't freak out about this 12-hour window. That's got to be a typo. I would bet a paycheck that that's a typo. And if you spent molas and stuff, you know what? They apologize for the inconvenience, and it's not like she won't be buffed later. And hopefully the buff later will be better than what they did with Pirate Flan. Hopefully they learned from that too, and they make Pirate Flan, they make FCC more fun and compelling, a way that people want to play her, and not just a niche speed imprint to help aggros and openers do things, and she's just there to anchor and be boring. In the meantime, hopefully Tori is a lot of fun, because that's all we got tomorrow. We'll talk a lot more about this in the podcast tonight. So the only new thing in all of this, right? All of this is just rehashing, except, hey, there's a Rowana banner coming up. Yay. This is all rehashing except for... Sec. Just making sure that this isn't like a Lethe event. Okay, good. Okay. Great. Bunny girl. Quit daydreaming and get back to mopping. Main reward. Book of memories. Stupid rabbit. Ah, here it is. The only new thing, which we all kind of knew about because Intern Coon pushed a button a little too fast. Did I see the text about OpSig? An issue where focus was displayed for 5-star hero Operator Secret during battle will be fixed. No functional changes will be made. God, poor Operator Secret. They're taking away her focus. And they're giving what would have been the perfect exclusive equipment for Operator Secret to Shu. Man, they really hate Sigrid, don't they? Okay, you guys ready for Rat Gaming? Because, wow. 10 more speed and permanent stealth. You know when a unit is stealth, it takes 50% less damage from AoE? It means you can get her off of Proof of Valor. Put her on something else. You could build her on ER so that you can't easily strip her with non-attack skills. You've got to use attack skills to knock down to knock her out of stealth. Get a barrier on her. Gosh, this would have been so good with FCC. Get a barrier on her, and it's even harder to knock her out of stealth. Sue described this as potentially a 30k HP Spectre Tenebria, so have fun with that. What happens? How do you knock her out of stealth, right? You got to use an AoE attack to knock her out of stealth, or you got to use an AoE strip to knock her out of stealth, right? If we go with an AoE attack, that means you're attacking everybody. That means you're pissing off Bystander Huayang. You're pissing off Child Senya. You're obviously pissing off Mort, because if you hit anything on the enemy team, when Mort's there, he'll counter your whole ass team and put a barrier up. If Shu's got a barrier, you got to hit hard enough to break that barrier. And if you're going to use non-attack skills, you got to have effectiveness to get through it. And I'm telling you, people are going to build ER Shus again. I used to have an ER Shu, and suddenly ER Shu could be a thing. If she gets a turn, and she gets that stealth, how are you going to get rid of it? Now you could soul burn, right? You could soul burn, ignore ER strip. Gosh, you could even put her on Bastion now instead of Proof. You could soul burn ER, ignore ER strip. So you're going to have to find a unit that ignore ER soul burns. And you're going to be allowed to use souls. And a non-attack skill isn't going to make your team take it in the ear because of units that react badly to non-attack skills. So that's a pretty limited window. I'm not saying she's unstoppable. I'm just saying that the ways to slow it down are rough. And that's just the stealth. I can build a, well, now that FCC is not going to be on the team, I can still build a 300 speed Shu. 300 speed Shu. Okay, You soul burned the S3 and you stripped the buff off of her, and then I cleansed it, and because Shu has like 25, 26k health, she survives, and now she's stealthed again. And now what are you going to do? You've already blown your New Moon Luna load all over Shu. Don't clip that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about Shu cycling around and now she's stealthed again? And she's just even closer to Giant Rat Gun. Right? You know she's a dark unit. What are you going to do with this unit combined with Para? That Giant Rat Gun's going to be coming so damn fast. I think it's going to be... I think she's going to be crazy, guys. We'll have to wait and see, but I think she's going to be crazy. I have no chill, Ruben. Tell me to chill. You're not my mom. Yeah, I'm excited about rat gaming. I'm not so excited about fighting against rats, but I really enjoy using Shu. She's one of my favorite units to use. Giant Rat Gun's the best. Every time I play Shu, she's focused on... Yeah, exactly. The whole point is to injure her down to where she can't really do anything or just kill her off. Did you see the purchase of skip battles with Skystones? Say what? Quick battling counts which allow players to instantly clear stages and hunt Spirit Altar will be purchasable with Skystones. Purchase condition up to 6 times per day. So you can purchase an additional 6 quick battles for... That's almost 500 Skystones. 450 Skystones for 6 additional quick battles? Is it 6 or 60? Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe it's you purchase an additional set of 10. If it's an additional 60, then maybe this isn't so bad. If you're like in a hurry, right? You're in a hurry and you just want to get through the game, you can drop 450 Skystones and chew through it and stuff. Especially during buff events, this is probably a way for you to like get some, get a whole bunch of rounds in with buff events. I think that's the only place we would use this. I think you only use this for buff events. You drop 500 stamina to zoom through a few buff events. Otherwise, I think this is a fantastic waste of 450 Skystones, right? I mean, unless you, like, went, crap, I gotta go to bed and I forgot to do my Smilegate stuff, I'll buy a couple of extra rounds. Yeah, it says rounds, right? So round would make you assume a round is a set of 10.
Did you see the new packs?
Bystander Hua Young and Young Senya are in the draft arena. Hooray, Draft Arena just got a whole bunch more fun. There's new packs? How do we miss packs, guys? Packs. Maintenance tonight. Guild Wars closing. Limited raid up. Touch of Rekos raid up. Sweet Chocolate event. Valentine's Day check-in. Valentine's special pack sale. Okay, what have we got? Valentine's Day special pack sale. This will be 10K. 10K gold, right? Oh, wait. What's this crowned bunny thing? Is this an imprint? Can be purchased 10 times per account. Anybody tell me what this crown fucking bunny is? Web event currency. Ah, okay. Yay. 1 leaf. So it's either 99 cents, but more likely it's probably something that you buy with stamina. Or gold. Here's your $100 pack. It's got a slate. Couple of 5 stars. 3 4 to 5 star summons. That's a good chunk of covs. It's a really good chunk of covs. The covs alone might make this better than just buying bookmarks if you're trying to chase Tori. 50 leafs. This doesn't feel bad. I would have to analyze it, but this doesn't feel bad for $100. And what do we got over here? This is the new player one, right? So 5-star ticket, 90 bookmarks, 25. You get the new thing new players want, Mola that new players want. So this is $50. And the Tori Optimal Equipment Pack. Oh my god, it's a once-in-a-lifetime pack. Destruction Immunity set for Tori. Level 88. Is it pre... Yeah, it's plus 15, so it's pre-rolled. I think we're up to 5 times. I bet you this is $30. I bet this is $30. Because nothing in here is very exciting, right? It's the equipment, which will all be mid-tier. It's 50. Is it already because of the reset stone? If it's 50, this is absolute gutter trash, unless this gear statting is insane. Do they show the gear anywhere? No. If this is 30, I think it's worth it for new players who need gear. But if this is 50, God, this is horrible. Absolutely horrible. But yeah. We'll see. None of these packs leap out at me. None of them are inspiring me to buy them, that's for sure. They're all RNG packs, right? Slate or bottle. Why not and? Why not and? Is it really too much to ask for and? And people would buy this. Whales would buy this if it was and. Random 5-star hero, your Iron Fan, and your cigarette to imprint your useless operator cigarette. The 200 summons is nice. 50 leafs is really nice. The 200 summons and the 50 leafs really kind of pull it together. The rest of this stuff is just fluff. Yeah, I don't know. Because and or selector makes too much sense. I think selector would be a little over the top. Yeah, Iron Fan, and now that she's in the pool, you could get a Yuna. Man. The gear is going to be like 88 equipment score, right? It's just whether or not it's statted properly. We'll have to see. I do like that they do this, right? I know a lot of people don't like this, but I do like that they say, here, you can pull the unit, and now you can gear the unit in such a way that you can go in and play. Right? A lot of people pull units. Yeah, a lot of people pull units in this game, and then they're sad because they can't play them. They don't have the gear to make them good, and they're instantly saying, here's gear to make a decent mid-tier Tori. And that's what she will be on this gear. She'll be a decent mid-tier Tori. Not the kind of thing that you would, like, show off to people in your Discord. Look at how kick-ass my Tori is, but enough that you can put the gear on her and start playing her in Guild Wars and PvE and RTA, wherever, and not have her feel just terrible. It's probably the same gear on her that they were running on her when they did the demo videos. So we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. Of all of them, I think this is the best pack. But that's kind of the thing, right? The good packs are targeting the new early game players, the players that we're trying to convert from free to play into responsible spenders, and that's what they're looking at with this pack. These packs are gamble garbage whale packs. You do you. And I don't even know what the fuck this is, man. This has got to be buy it with gold or buy it with stamina or something. 1 leaf and a web event thing. There's no way they put a $sign value on this, right? I don't think this is 99 cents, man. 99 cents gets you more than one leaf from Burning Passion. Yeah, I think it's gold. I think this is 50k gold or something like that. Yeah, none of the packs look terrible. They just don't look stupid exciting, right? When's Guild War over? End of the month. Guild War season's ending. I guess that means I guess this kind of gives us a time frame, right? If preseason starts on the 1st, then either we're going to go straight into the new Guild War system for preseason, or we'll have a couple of weeks and then we'll go into full season with the new Guild War system. But one would think they would give us a preseason to get used to it. So I think the implication is that the new Guild War system is going to happen March 1st, right? At the start of the battle, or at the start of the turn, recovers health by 500, increases the effect of all healing received by 20%. How much is Shamadra's staff? Okay, so it's shitty Shamadra staff, right? Yeah, so it's shitty Shamadra staff. It's Shamadra staff that gives a little squirt of healing and no effect resistance, and it doesn't stack, but it can be put on anybody. It doesn't have to be on a Soul Weaver. Yeah, it's Shamadra without the ER, a little bit of healing. This is a nice PvE artifact. It's going to help people get through Abyss, especially some of the floors where you can't or don't want to take a healer. Right, this plus a Ranger on Bloodstone is going to accomplish pretty much all of your healing needs in some of the harder to do PvE. It's nice. Nobody's going to use it in PvP. Yeah, Ancient Inheritance artifact, sure. Shamadra is also for everyone. Shamadra is for Soul Weavers only. Bloodstone, or not Bloodstone, but Love Potion is for everyone. It looks like a better Love Potion. That artifact is terribad. Yeah, Love Potion is like 10% healing. It's basically double Love Potion, and it gives some free healing at the start of the turn. It's just a straight up Power Crypt upgrade of this, which is also never used. So yeah, you know, it's okay. It's all right. I don't think anybody who's been playing the game longer than a year is going to care. Think Rat is more worth it. You know how long to wait. Oh, because of her EE? I think Rat is already really good, and this is going to make her insane. I think this is, especially with as much as injury matters in a modern meta, the stealth is going to keep people from focusing her, and it's going to just be easier and easier for her to do things. I think Rat's going to be crazy. But how long do you have to make that decision? You got 16 days to decide whether or not to buy Rat. So give it a few, right? This is going to happen tomorrow. Give it a couple of weeks, at least a week, and see if Rat's going to, you know, be crazy insane and is worth your 40 coins. I think she will be, but we'll see. Hey, Loki, what's up? Isn't Shu in the next rotation of the ML poll? Is she? I don't see her down here. Oh, you mean on the who's coming after Para, or they would never do that. They would in the video. Let's see. Some funny looking shoes, guys. Funny looking shoes. No rat. Strays is in Strays buff, maybe? Yeah, like Operator Cigarette's getting a buff. Ouch. Poor Opsig. Did you see this, Loki? Isn't that the saddest damn sentence you've ever read? What's up, Rastafarius?
2 dark warriors and 2 light mages. Variety.
Yep, for real. I can't believe they gave this to Shu. Should be after maintenance. Quick battles, purchasable sky stones. I don't think you do it. I don't think there's any reason to do it unless it's a buff event and you want to really slam and you really want to slam a whole bunch of fast hits into buffs, into a buff event to burn leaves quickly. Otherwise, I don't get it. I don't get why you would ever spend sky stones to spend your stamina faster when we have background battling. You know, I just set it for 30 background battles, set your phone or computer down and go do something else, right? It does feel like a noob trap, right? Even if it's 60 additional quick battles, right? Six sets of 10. Who cares? Why are you going to spend 450 sky stones to spend your stamina faster? Like the Temp Grace is actually useful. The Temp Grace, you can swap in and out of it as often as you want. If you're actually trying to get used to all of the heroes you have, and you're like, well, let's try FCC. You put Grace on and go, oh, this didn't work for me. Let's swap it out to Operator Cigarette, and you can try that hero. There's no cooldown timer on second Grace. You can just hot swap it as often as you want. If you need to go do Abyss, and you're watching somebody's guide, it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I got to use Commando Lorena for this one, swap that. Okay, now I guess I got to use Fenris for this one, swap that. Yeah, you can hot swap it. I had it running for about 3 months straight because all of the new Hall of Trials were coming out, and every time it came out, it let me just swap in a hero that I wanted to swap in. So yeah, it's actually is kind of useful. I still think it's very overpriced, but it's not just a second Grace of Growth. It's actually a more versatile Grace of Growth. It's really good for Guild Wars as well. If you don't have everything built, yeah. If you're looking at the Fribble site and it's recommending that you got to go do a Guild War fight, and it's recommending that you build you build Mort, Harsetti, and Flan, and you're one of the 3 people in Epic 7 that doesn't have Mort built. You can Grace or Growth them real quick, and then you look at your next team and it says you got to run this one. It's like, okay, I'll take Mort off and slap it on Dilibet, or slap it on Bellion. It does give you some functional usage to it above and beyond just being a 5-star. I mean, it's not whale territory. Also, remember, new players usually are swimming in sky stones. You get tons of sky stones from completing the story. So you don't really start feeling the Skystone pinch until later game. You're climbing through Abyss bronze and silver and gold, and you're getting all these Skystone rewards. You're clearing stages, and each stage gives you tons of Skystone rewards. I think it should be for 3 months, Shio. I really do. I think it should be 500 a month. I think that would be fair. But it is what it is. They don't want people using it as a static way to just have 1 unit free Molagord. And that's how literally everybody is using this Grace of Growth, is they're using it because they don't want to build a unit. They don't want to put Mola in a unit, so they're just doing it.
Hi, TristenWulf.
To combat that,
ready, because a rat maked into the room. She is fast, healthy, and my lights by bonk on my table. Perfect gear for you soon, Kappa.
Okay. And they countered that by, making you have to wait 3 days before you can swap it out. For this one, it's more expensive, but you can hot swap, and that makes it once you buy it, it's going to feel really bad when it goes away, right? It makes you want to buy it again. So this is kind of a trap. If you buy it once and you experience just being able to instantly 5-star any unit every time new content comes out, every time you look at a guide or a Hall of Trials guide, or you try to complete Abyss or do anything, it feels so good to just swap out a hero on the spot. But it does go away after 30 days, and then you're like, shit, I really missed that. I really want to be able to do that again, and it's only 1,500 Sky Stones. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to do some Guild Wars off screen, and then I'm going to go hit the gym. We'll be back on tonight. We're going to do a podcast tonight. I got Vic Chun as a guest. I'll try to find one other guest to sit at the table with us too. We're going to talk about the future of the game. When is the podcast? Starts right when maintenance starts. So as soon as the game goes down, the podcast goes live. I'll be on about an hour before the podcast starts. And we'll talk about Fallen Cecilia. We'll talk about the future of the game. I would love for Elv to be there, and I'll ask him, but you got to understand, the podcast will go live at about 3 in the morning for Elf. So it's a big ask for somebody in Portugal to be up at that time. All right, guys. Join my Discord. Watch the new video. If you have questions about what's going on with FCC, watch the new videos. Make a Stove account and start commenting. And I'll catch you guys later. Well, let's see. Who are we going to raid? Who is playing Epic 7 right now? Let's see. Speak of the devil. Let's go see Elf Mage. Elf's on a riot about FCC. Oh my god. I feel him, man. I feel him big time. I'm sad about FCC too, but we either want Smallgate to listen to the community or we don't. What can I say? Alright, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.